Hello class, my name is Stephanie Vital and today I will be teaching you guys on chapter 10, the subculture perspective. So subculture perspective focuses on substance users and grouping. It explains what substances users believe in, what their values are, their norms, rituals, and they develop when consuming the substances. Defines what skills are used when taking the substance, and also substances related subcultures, youth, prostitution, and gangs. The source of inspiration: early writing of subculture, Frederick Trasher and William White. The subculture thesis through his research on the Italian slum called Cornville. White found that individuals from the lower class slum can be successful depending on the opportunities that are given to them. Based on the opportunities that one has, they're able to, succeed or see if they're able to not succeed based on what they have available. Not everybody has the same access to opportunities. Also, children that grow up in the lower class face disadvantages when it comes to education, communication skills, and gratification for the family. There is 3 roles a child can adopt in school. The 3 roles that they can adapt are to corner boy, college boy, or delinquent boy. The corner boy is the boy who hangs out with the neighborhood kids, gambles, and participates in group activities, whereas the college boy, he strives to live up to middle class standards. The delinquent boy overcomes loss of self esteem and improves their sense of self worth. Richard Claward and Lloyd Allen offer a different image of delinquent subculture of joint work and opportunity. The means of reach one's goals are not equal distributed in the conventional world. Opportunities are not equal, and opportunities are not available for everyone who wants to pursue an unconventional career. In areas where delinquents' value take place, they are able to gain current and illegitimate business. Youth join criminal activities and learn new techniques leading to adult crime. A criminal's objective is to support and sustain crime as means towards profit and material success. Youngsters participate in violence and fighting, leading them to release their anger and anxiety. Claward and Offland state that there is 3 delinquent subcultures of violence. Acts of delinquents that reflect subculture support and likely to recur with great frequency. Access to successfully adult crime career. The delinquent subculture imparts to the conduct of its member a high degree of stability and resistance of control or change. Studies using the concept of perspective and subculture is divided into 2 groups. The first group examines various subcultures including racial, ethical, gay, lesbian, homeless, criminal college students, blue-collar workers, athletes, and see how each individual encourages or disencourages the use of substance. Youth subculture and substances use has shown that there is a rebellion against their parents, loyal to peers, and risk as challenge are found to be core values and motivation for adolescents to consume substances. The second group studied from narcotic subculture, wine subculture, international drug subculture, drug dealer seller subculture, and drug abstinence subculture. Walter Miller explains how there are 6 focal concerns amongst youth who grow up in low-income environments: trouble, toughness, smartness, excitement, luck, and autonomy. One's background or home dynamic affects an adolescent's decisions. Based on the way that someone grew up and their background, it affects the way that they think. Next, going on to theoretical framework. Substance use is a collective behavior, population who shares beliefs and values in favor of certain substances and their consumption. Culture is defined as a total way of life in a society. Subculture is a shared way of life among individuals in society, as I said, sorry about that. Ulrich Gold states how members of a group that subscribe to a particular subculture interact with others more often and more intimately, in contrast to members of a society's category. Another point that he makes is that subculture's perspective is a theoretical explanation into the body of substance subculture. It examines structural elements and interrelations with the substance subculture. It also examines the way that subculture contributes or counteracts the dominant mainstream culture. Next is theoretical image. Subculture perspective explains how substances users survive in social grouping or collective environment. These substances can serve as a material base for subculture or a group of them, such as tobacco, alcohol, prescription drugs, or controlled substances. Tobacco and alcohol have been one of the mainstream substances that humans consume. Alcohol and tobacco are the number one things that individuals seem to consume more, and they seem to grab their attention. Substances can act as a dominant for a subculture to form and expand. Members of the subculture may take serious measures when it comes to theoretical components. The subculture perspective examines substances subculture with regards to its internal structure and external relations. It engaged with substantive exchange and interaction with other subcultures and the generic culture. This is built upon visible objection. The way that the substances come and vary in color and the way that they are packaged. So the way that these substances are packaged, it varies in the color, the way it looks, the texture, and the form that they package them in. There are raw materials that are used to make up the substance and supplements that are used to prepare the substance. When it is being prepared, they also the way that it is being consumed. There is also a cycle that the substance goes through and it goes through 3 phases. The first phase being from the farms, that is where they grow the raw material. The second phase that it goes through is the factories. The factory is the one that manufactures the substance. And lastly, it goes through the laboratories. The laboratory is the last stage where the substance goes through, and that is where they package the substance. Next is non-material elements. Substances subculture includes knowledge, skills, techniques, beliefs, norms, and rationalization, and their collective response to sociology. Knowledge is divided into different levels. Non-material is when an element is based on the type of experience that consumers has after taking a substance. While knowledge is important, having skills is also essential when dealing with the substance. It is important for an individual to have the skills to identify what can happen if they consume a particular substance. They need to know what effects the drug that they are taking is going to cause them. Beliefs and essential values and points of view held by users about substance and substance-related issues. Next, we're going to be talking about relationships to the general culture, empirical tests, and public health. So for relations to the general culture, it focuses on the information and material exchanged between the substance culture, other subcultures, as well as the generic culture. Individuals use the power of obsession, for an example, when one states that one is an alcoholic, this refers to that someone drinks alcohol on a daily basis and they are addicted to the substance. Also, tolerance refers to the way that the human body reacts to the drug that they are taking or the thing that they are consuming and the way that it affects the body. Next, empirical test. Subculture perspective creates opportunities for empirical research on different fronts. The subculture begins with the discovery of the substance, then it focuses on the effect of the substance to the human body. Going on to public health, perspective form of a medical view and educate matter of the substance use. It is important to understand the substance that one is consuming and the effects that it has onto the human body. One can take a combination of different substances not knowing the effects that it has when mixing them, causing someone to overdose themselves. There are several drugs out there that can possibly be categorized into different groups based on the reaction that they have to the human body. Work and organization. The work subculture is a general and understandable to most individuals in society. It features tasks, schedules, rules, deadlines, and even achievements. So overall, that was the end of chapter 10 for the subculture perspective. Thank you.